Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another live reaction here on the Matt and John Make a Podcast channel here on YouTube. We are here to review and give our thoughts on WWE Elimination Chamber 2021 that just went off the air. We're like at 9:30, a damn short pay-per-view. In, out, thank you, man. Not complaining on the Sunday night.
No.
I'm glad that they didn't add anything to it, because usually, if Asuka was supposed to face Lacey Evans, they could have like randomly put her against somebody else, but they didn't. They kind of had to find a replacement for Keith Lee, who reportedly is injured, storyline or not. So yeah, so they got somebody, which they needed to, because we'll get into it. So yeah, overall thoughts on the show before we get into specifics.
It was okay. I would say I wouldn't say that it was great. I wouldn't say that it was awful. I would say though questionable and more so at the end of the show, and we'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, it was what it was. I wasn't really expecting a great show. It wasn't a awesome card really. And to be perfectly honest, and I was just thinking about this too, this show kind of felt a little bit pointless to a certain extent, but yeah, an okay show.
No, I thought it was a good show. I thought maybe leading up to it, I can agree, maybe wasn't the best. SmackDown did a better job than Raw, shocker, in building stuff. But I thought the matches, maybe with the exception of one, were pretty decent, were good. I thought it was, I don't think it was, I'm not going to come on here and say this was like the best thing ever, but I think it was a solid show for what it was into Mania. And there were some twists and turns, if you can say, especially at the end. So we'll get into it. We'll get into one by one. Start with the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, followed by Roman.
Yeah, and as like Matt said on the pre-show, John Morrison, he qualified to be involved in a triple threat for the United States Championship, which that was between Ricochet, Ali, John Morrison, and Elias. I did not expect Morrison. I was thinking they were going to go with Ricochet there, but they went with John Morrison.
I was going. My pick was Morrison because out of everybody in that match, he was the most relevant in terms of what they've been doing with him. Because Ricochet, nothing. Ali is stuck with Retribution and losing. Elias has kind of been there, and Morrison has been doing stuff with the Miz, so he's been more relevant, per se. So my pick going into it was Morrison. Ended up being Morrison. So I thought that was a good thing, and even we'll get into it. So that I think that was the better choice in my opinion. But so SmackDown Elimination Chamber, I thought it was pretty solid. Pretty good one. Nothing crazy that happened in there, which in a way I agree with, because it didn't overshadow the Raw one, because they think they went more higher spots per se, or more I want to say definitely more. SmackDown, I think the big spot I think was, of course, you had Sammy and Cesaro. Sammy falling from that, but it wasn't too crazy. But the big one everybody was talking about, which was a brilliant use of the door. Kevin Owens and Jay slamming the door into Owens' arm, which that's a big door, so that that looks like it hurts, and then kicking the crap out of him.
And honestly, Owens he didn't really lose so much here just because of that spot there. However, I was still a little bit surprised that they eliminated him so much, and how far that they went with Jay here. I did not expect that he would last all the way at the end there. I thought that we would get a KO versus Cesaro, or maybe a Daniel Bryan versus a Cesaro here. But yeah,
I thought he would have. I'm not surprised he was the last two, because you can have a Cesaro, a Bryan, and Owens beat him, and again, kind of be that disappointment that he didn't win again. How Roman has that upset look on Jay, that he didn't win again, but something like that. But Owens getting taken out like that makes sense, because he shouldn't have won. He didn't need to win again, even though everybody would think that's the most predictable route, the safest route to go. But I'm glad they did something fresh, and everybody thought Cesaro, but Daniel Bryan ended up winning.
It made sense just based on how that championship match actually went, just because to me Cesaro could not afford that loss there, whereas Daniel
not in the way they did it.
Right. It just I'm kind of glad that they did go on
in hindsight.
But man, there were some pissed off Daniel Bryan fans and people. I gotta tell you, I am a huge fan of his, and I was a big advocate of him being in the 2014 main event. But his time has passed, man. That magic that he had, and he's been putting over guys left and right. It's just this was the absolute right call, because now they could probably lead into Cesaro versus Reigns at Fastlane. That at least gives them something to at least puffer until they eventually get to Edge versus Reigns there, which I tell you, Matt, just based on SmackDown alone, these segments are going to be so awesome. But
top notch
between Heyman, Edge, and Roman, this is going to feel like a legit WrestleMania main event that to be honest, we haven't had in at least 2 or 3 years now. This feels like that it should be closing
night 2.
Night 2. Definitely for night 2. But going back on the Elimination Chamber, as Sammy he was just trying everything. Just trying everything and anything to weasel out of anything. He was
the best. The one off the top of my head is, I think the first time they were picking pods, and because they had the mics. I like the mics being in the pods, or however they did it, because it really enhanced the trash talking between everybody. That was a nice touch they did, so you can hear more. You can hear more things more clearly. So when it was the first time for the first pod to come out, you just hear Sammy going, "Not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine," and it was it was great. And then keeping the door shut, and then Cesaro, yeah, comes around the other one. The second door opens,
yeah,
and
and he
just banging him back and forth.
Beat the crap out of him. And did you see Cesaro when they were climbing up on the chamber? He was doing them pull-ups on the very top,
just
on
flexing.
the very top. So yeah, I mean, so he was good. And Cesaro, he got eliminated by, was it Jay? Yeah, it was by Jay Uso. And Jay also eliminated KO, as I said. KO eliminated, I believe, he eliminated Sami Zayn, and Corbin, he got eliminated by Cesaro. Yeah, he got eliminated by
which I was right on that. I did the DraftKings that poll, which I'm shocked that I had kind of advertised. That was surprised, because I know they did one before, but it wasn't advertised. Well, they had their own commercial.
They're probably are getting some sort of sponsor cash,
which
too.
Smart.
Yeah,
smart. I was like, okay, they're getting into the DraftKings business. I'll see how I did, because it takes forever to load. I know I had Corbin being eliminated first.
Right.
So I was like, yes, but that doesn't mean anything. Hang on, live, because I'm kind of curious to see, because they update this so freaking slowly. But so 38. Just no, we'll get to it. 31.79 people that did this poll had Kevin Owens winning that Elimination Chamber match. Second place was Daniel Bryan in 18.59. Third was Cesaro
at okay.
Nice 17.01, right behind Daniel Bryan. Then it was Corbin at 15.83, Jay at 11.49, and Sammy at 5.3. The conspiracy.
I can't hear you.
Really? Hear you. Wait a minute. Let me check the. I can.
What the
through?
Fuck,
sorry, guys. It's coming through the. Sorry, guys. It's coming through. Here, I'll just do this so you can understand me. Oh wait, you can't hear me. It's not this. It's goddamn different point. I'll just do this so you can understand me. Can you hear me now? Oh, that was weird.
I have no idea what the hell happened there, but I'm back. All right.
Okay. Yeah, it was weird. I checked YouTube. It was coming through on YouTube.
Yeah. Just completely lost.
I don't know why. I'm like, I'll put this video up to the microphone so you can hear me. And I was like, no, dumbass, you can't hear me anyways.
I can hear you, but okay, yeah. I'm back.
Now, what was I saying? Oh, the polls. And then conspiracy. Sammy was only 5.30%.
Like him and like Corbin were just essentially throw-ins here. To me, the only people who I really realistically saw winning this match were either KO, Cesaro, or
the faces.
Yeah,
all the faces basically.
But I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of rooting for Jay so that they could just do a like finger poke of like doom scenario with him and like Roman.
Yeah.
So obviously Roman just like he just runs through Daniel. That went for about like 5 minutes tops, if that long, but that went as long as it should have. Roman, he looked strong, and then obviously afterwards Edge he spears Reigns, and he points at the big WrestleMania sign, and it looks like Edge has made his choice. He will be facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the WWE Universal Championship. It was a foregone
Yeah.
conclusion, just based on how SmackDown had been going for the last few weeks. And some people have made the argument that like how they went about with this was just kind of silly. It's just like, okay, why don't you just announce?
But I still appreciate that. I still appreciate that he was going around, at least trying to go around and like put, tell a story, even though, we knew, but at least tell a story. I think I wish he would have showed up like at NXT more, even Raw more.
But at the same time, no one. I mean, like we all knew.
Yeah, no, we all. Yeah, I mean, we knew.
Wasn't choosing
but
NXT. It's just.
No, we know, but still,
it was just that would have been wasting time. Honestly, on the first week, yeah, it's fine. Since you're like say, hey, I'm gonna keep my cards closer to my vest, but you can also have the argument as well that like them being very indecisive with both Edge and like Bianca kind of threw a like wrench into things for the chamber, because here's something that completely just makes zero sense to me is why does like Drew have to defend his title in a chamber, but like Roman doesn't? Like it just, but like because they are both like champions. That just
think
doesn't make any sense.
Well, but I think Roman doesn't because Heyman pulls the strings storyline wise. But in general, yes.
But
why should they?
But also, didn't Adam Pearce say all WWE contracts are exactly the same? So why would that be any different with him?
Well, story. I mean, based on if you go based on the contract Heyman read out loud, is that Roman needs to defend the title at Elimination Chamber, not in the Elimination Chamber, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Which that happened. But then the other half of this story was that starting on Talking Smack, Paul was saying to Adam Pearce that in order to save your job or be good, you need to make a awesome main event. And then Shane comes up and they did that. So maybe putting Drew in it adds the thing based on storyline. I guess if you're taking what they showed on TV, then okay. In general, should he be in there? No. In general, no. But if you're comparing the two here, I think it makes sense of what they put on TV in my mind.
Yeah. So, all right. So then we move on to the United States Championship, a triple threat between like Bobby Lashley versus Riddle versus John Morrison. This match was okay.
I thought this was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was more entertained by this.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised by like Lashley dropping the title here. Kind of had a feeling that they were going to go there because just how they have been building him up, and I was like, he's got to be getting a title match with like Drew soon,
And why they needed to add somebody into this match to replace Keith Lee. If Lashley wasn't going to lose, you don't replace Keith Lee. It's another one-on-one match. Exactly. But I want to see Riddle and Morrison again because their portion of the match when Lashley was out was fun to me. They're really good together in that ring. It seemed like they had good chemistry.
I want to be against even like Riddle versus a Cedric Alexander. I think they could possibly go on like that route great. There. I mean, at like WrestleMania, you could do Riddle versus Sheamus. They have had some pretty have some pretty good had some pretty good
So
matches, or hell,
yeah,
Riddle versus Keith Lee. Although who knows what's going on with him right now. So
right.
so
But
there
if it is
are
that,
some
then
possibilities.
Riddle's going to have you would expect, depending on when it happens, Keith Lee that beat him for that title.
Yeah, but as like we know, who knows how serious that like Keith Lee's injury is, because he looked like just disappeared off of TV. And there's been just all kinds of like various reports of him either being injured or having backstage heat with something. Who knows? So
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know either. But
after Kyle O'Reilly, I need to see more proof
yeah.
before jumping conclusions, because how that blew the hell up.
Well,
How he
that
has-
was like more so like fans saying
Yeah,
so,
but
rather than anyone else.
But was there concrete? Is there a concrete proof of? Did anybody say anything officially that he's injured?
No, basically,
So there you
PW Insider said they could not confirm if he was hurt or not.
So until somebody says
Mhm.
we can confirm or he's hurt or something, I'm not jumping
Hell,
conclusions. But one would assume
it could be COVID too, for all
it could be COVID.
that we know.
And if they're not saying anything, it's probably I would lead to COVID.
Makes you wonder, just because because we've got like zero information on him or anything, and I believe too that like Mia has been off of TV as well because like she also tested positive for COVID, I believe a like month or so ago.
Isn't she pregnant too?
No.
Or they just got did they get engaged?
Yeah. They got engaged.
Why did I think they were having a kid?
I'm like Lacey. Lacey's having.
Yeah, Lacey, but I thought
no.
Okay, I'm confusing.
They got engaged.
That's right.
Yeah.
I knew it was Lacey. I just knew there was an announcement. I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
they all blend together after a while.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that, like, do you think with that like because we have seen kind of a trend now with people such as like Becky, and now with like Lacey, do you see as this being a possibility that WWE would be like more like hesitant in pushing women's wrestling just because like and I think like and I think Cornette has talked a little bit about this. Is like how can
he did that when Becky
right
last year when Becky got
and I'm just speaking more from a like business perspective. Like, I mean, like definitely I could understand that the company being like, okay, well, if we're going to be pushing this, I mean, women's to the absolute forefront, that would definitely screw some things up. I do wonder if this would give them an actual excuse as to like why not to try and create some new stars here,
Yeah, it could be I'm wondering if it's would be legal, right? And if let's say, well, legal to say to inform them, because I feel like there's policies like in HR and businesses that say if you're dating somebody to like let HR know. Could you expect somebody to say, hey, we're expecting we're going to want to try to have a baby, just so you guys know, so don't like tell them that so they don't put you in a high profile story line like in Lacey and Charlotte, minus whatever you think of it.
Yeah,
because you had Asuka versus Lacey. You would assume there's a Mania match there.
Well, and that
with
screwed
Charlotte.
everything up, and that screwed everything up for that there because it's not. It's like okay, like Lacey, she can't do anything. She can't bump. I mean, like yeah, she could be there to like cut some segments and some promos, but after like what 3 or like 4 months, it's like, well, she can't exactly be out there. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I think what she needs, and I think it's almost a blessing in disguise. What she needs, okay, go away for 9 months, Charlotte do something else, and just come back and pretend nothing happened. Just pretend nothing happened. Come back as a face. I'm pulling for Lacey as a face because I don't know. This heel run, I think is not working, and it's not for what you think. You know what annoys me more? It wasn't even the storyline. Even before that, is how she laughs. She does that. It's like, nope.
Well, and here's
that annoyed me. That I can't. Nope.
Well, and here's the other thing: when you recall her feud against like Bailey, she's going completely against everything that she ever stood for her character, was like being that all-American wife and shit, and be like loyal to her like husband, and being true with the kids and all, and then she gets involved in this storyline where she's essentially is screwing around with like Flair, and they reveal, oh yeah, Ric Flair got her pregnant. It's just
they never. Yeah.
Essentially, they
hinted at it, say it without saying it. Yeah, they never really confirmed it, but
and
put the pieces together.
But thankfully, this angle is going to end. I mean, if they do anything, it'll probably be for maybe through like WrestleMania, and that's it. Because after that, I mean, like Lacey can't exactly be on TV for too much longer after that, So
yeah, I don't. I don't know. But, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do, because they're probably like, damn it.
Yeah. Okay, so now we had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships between Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair and Matt. I hated. Why is Sasha getting freaking pinned here?
There was the only option. To me, the only option was for them to win.
Or throw in a disqualification or something. Why is a champion getting pinned? Like, this is stuff that just annoys the hell out of me. And how, like, they have champions lose. Why are your champions freaking losing, man? It's stupid.
Yeah, because because if they had Bianca get pinned, then you're in the same situation.
Right.
It was a no. I think that was, as much as people would be frustrated with it. This is okay. Given if everything was the same, have Reggie, we'll call him Reggie, use, instead of giving the champagne bottle to Sasha, him take it on his own and hit Nia or whatever, and the ref catches him and causes a disqualification, and then you can go from there. I think that's your safest thing.
That is what they should have done, because then it at least, like, they're at least accomplishing the same thing. They're essentially are accomplishing the same thing, and Sasha isn't getting pinned. Like, because to me, no one in this match could afford a pinfall here. Like, it's just go with the freaking DQ here. But
yeah, even though people would hate it, if you're not putting it on Sasha and Bianca, I think that would have been the right. That would be the only thing to do. and at least had four moves along the storyline between Sasha, Reggie, Carmel,
And
that
by the
whole
way,
dynamic.
I was fully expecting Sasha to be turning heel here, but
I
this is
thought it
something.
was too soon.
But this is also something I am afraid of, that they're going to be adding Carmella into this. And I swear, if they add her into this match, I truly ask to these people, what in the hell are you doing? Just keep it soft.
I think something. I think they'll do. They still have Fastlane to do something. I could with Carmella, and then she can go do something else. I didn't think she would align. This is how I'm taking the dynamic between Reggie and Sasha, is that like Sasha is kind of just like falsely flirting with him and just, you know, there's a phrase there, just, you know, going along with it, pulling him along, and
stringing him.
Yeah, stringing him along and just going along with the antics. That's how I was taking it. I know you were seeing it in a different way. So that's how I was seeing the whole thing, like lately. But then you have the thing that could go your way if that was to happen was on SmackDown. Reggie was Carmella threw bad wine in Reggie's face. So we'll see if he like turns on her. But I just at this point in time, I didn't see anything major happening. I at the time. I mean, you can go into this match if it's Sasha and Bianca as a face and face, but just two badass women going at it, trying to be the best.
Honestly, I think the absolute best way to go into this is with like Sasha going in as like a heel, and Bianca going in as a baby face. To me, is the best dynamic there. Because
how many other faces do you have on SmackDown?
Yeah, and that would lie the problem there.
I think Sasha can go in as a face, but be that like the boss, like the bitch. Yeah. You don't hate her, but like she has that attitude, like I'm the best. You're the EST, but I'm the like, you know. And you can have the type of match if a full crowd can be chanting for both.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem that they're going to lie into. It's just like they don't have enough baby faces from there. Yeah, you can, but even without that, they realistically only have Sasha and like Bianca right now because obviously because the only others are like Billy Kay, and
Liv
and like Ruby Riott right now. So it's not exactly a deep field there, but okay. So the last thing happened tonight, Matt. We had the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber between number 2 Sheamus, AJ, Jeff Hardy, Kofi, and Randy Orton, and number 2 showed us why he truly is number 2. But we shall get into that shortly.
The intrigue of this match went up for me, like the whole events, even going into after, because of that like 10-second backstage thing with MVP and Miz. So you figure something's going to happen, whether all the theories of MVP buys the briefcase off of Miz, what have you. That intrigue was me. The match as a whole, I kind of enjoyed a little bit better than the SmackDown one, because a lot more stuff happened, like the spot stuff, that it was faster pace as compared to, I think SmackDown was a little bit slower and kind of more methodical. Not saying it was bad. No, when I say this, I enjoy this more than SmackDown. Like, here you go, like that much.
Yeah,
not like
I'm going to disagree with that just because like there was no intrigue in this match whatsoever because we all knew Drew is definitely winning. It's just afterwards we knew okay, but and the same thing could be said on SmackDown side. But however, they have done a much better job on SmackDown side and in building up interest for that match.
This I think both matches had the same thing. When I say I enjoy the Raw match, I'm talking about the match, even though I knew Drew was going to win. See, okay, here we go. SmackDown, you didn't know who was going to win the match, but you knew whoever won the match was going to lose the Roman. Raw, you knew who was going to win the match, but you didn't know if we assumed it would be a cash-in, but you know how you cash in and Drew would overcome. You didn't know what would happen after, per se. And so that was the intrigue.
And to me, Drew looks horrible in this. And people will say, "Well,
in the match or after?"
After.
I disagree.
Because to me, even though he got like beat down and everything, he lost against a comedy cosplay wrestler, and
because he got beat down.
Okay, fine, but he has not done
you guys ass kicked by it.
He has not done a damn thing since he has like won that, lost that, and got back.
Well,
I mean, like what has he done?
That's the thing. That's the thing with the Money in the Bank. You can argue on the other side that you don't have to do anything, and you just get your opportunity. And he had Lashley beat him up. Now, if Miz came out after the match, right? There was no Lashley, did what he did, whatever, and beat him. 100% hate it, fully percent agree. With Lashley beating the holy hell out of him and adding it adds to Miz sneaking in with what he was doing and still win. I believe it's more believable he can cash in and do that than if it was just him coming out and everything else was the same. Then it makes no sense. Then to me, I think Drew looks
if he had not been like losing consistently, I could somewhat buy that. But he just lost on like Monday night against Kofi. He just lost on then he's been losing against and being involved with people such as like Bad Bunny for crying out loud right now. So now I'm supposed to buy him as the champion on this show. Like I don't think you're supposed to. I don't think you necessarily have to buy him as champion. I just think he is just that weasel that negotiated his way with MVP to become champion. And I think you're as much. I don't like him being champion. But the point is stupid, and I can tell you one thing. I cannot wait until I hear Cornette's thoughts on
Frogman. Right. But to make Froggy, we're feeling Froggy, but to have him win it the way he did, I think was, if you look at it legitly, I think I think it's a smart way to get him hated. It's the only way if you're going to do it. Now, if this leads to MVP's thinking 2 steps ahead, playing 3D chess. Now, if this leads to Lashley
at like WrestleMania,
if this leads to Lashley beating the holy hell out of Miz and winning the championship, can you see that? And then facing Drew at...
I think so. There is no way in hell. There's no way in hell he's going in to like WrestleMania as champion.
Bad Bunny versus the Miz at Mania. Book it.
God.
No, I think...
I think no way.
I think this is a step, and I think Lashley does... I think MVP, it would make sense. MVP convinces Miz to do it. Because here we go. I set it up here. This is how, if at this point in time, MVP convinces Miz to cash it in with the help of Lashley, right? Lashley beats the crap out of him, Miz wins, right? He's the champion. Everybody hates it. Miz girl sitting there in her house right now, grumpy, right? Everybody hates it. He's a slime ball that wins. Lashley somehow gets a title shot for Miz, beats Miz, right? And then Drew can say, you had to have Miz do dirty work. You're afraid to face me one-on-one. You had to have Miz cash in on me, lead that up. And you have there, what I'm trying to say, and have that match at Mania, night one main event, depending what the women are doing. But there you go. You could, Drew could say, oh yeah, you had Miz have to sneak attack, and you had to beat me up and have Miz win it. You couldn't do it yourself. You were afraid you can't beat me, right? So, and then there's your point to go the Mania. I don't know. I think that can work. Here's the downfall of that, in my opinion. If that match were to happen as Lashley going in as champion, let's say, if they do that, should Lashley win?
I'm telling you right now that I
because
can't
that's
say
that's a short title reign.
It's a short title reign, and just based on how they have booked him, it's been really inconsistent. And like he's been beating up guys such as the like Riddles, Jeff Hardy's, and all of those guys. But now he's gonna be going up against guys such as like Drew. Yeah, I can't say that. I can't say that confidently. I honestly think there's even a good chance Drew probably beats him at like WrestleMania. I'm not sure if they will ever put the title
would somehow, and then so did it be almost a waste?
Right.
If Drew wins it back before Mania, and then that's a waste.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do.
I really don't know, because to me, I could very well see them. Okay, we're going to put the title back on Drew, and then at like WrestleMania, he'll get back his like revenge on Bobby Lashley, and he won't ever get a title, and an actual run with the title.
But this tells me that definitely the report of Mania plans up in the air was true. And I guess maybe they're not getting Brock.
No, I don't think he'll be on the show now.
At least in the title match,
which is kind of surprising to me, especially too since they are having a crowd. But I also think too, with how things are in Canada, and like he would have had to like quarantine for like,
it's true,
for like 2 weeks, I think, in order to get back in the country. So probably not something he was really
I'm interested to see other people's takes. Like I think I might watch the wrestling podcast review after this, and any reports coming out of what their plans might be, because right now we're just depending where they go.
And I'll say this too: the people who are saying, "Oh, like fans are like I'm fickle," like which they are. Do not get that wrong. But anyone who won like a Miz as champion, after he has been booked like a complete freaking nerd for the last 7, 8, or like 9 months. Like, you're kidding yourself. Okay, at least like
I don't think anybody wanted him to.
If there did, I seriously question you. I seriously question you right now.
I think it's the weasel way to win a championship, which I think it works with being the Money in the Bank. Because, man, hey, would you rather have a serious question? Not even like, would you rather have the Miz cash in and win a championship, or Otis?
It's like it's like, hey, would you rather be hey like shot I'm stabbed right there. I mean, there's like no real good answer there.
Hey, speaking of Otis, they're kind of a little hill turn here on SmackDown.
Yeah,
I like
that's kind of weird. Not gonna lie, and
I kind of like.
it also begs the question: why did they separate him from Tucker then? Like that man got so shafted by that.
I guess they didn't see. I guess they didn't see anything in him.
My lord!
To be honest, he was kind of the weakly, like,
obviously, yeah.
I didn't. They released him, and I wasn't like, hey, I saw a lot of potential in him. Like I don't know. He wasn't really showing me much. But then again, at least his character before they kind of like did, he went away with, and then Otis did the whole Mandy thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but, like they clearly see more in Otis, but
yeah.
The point being is like they took him away from Tucker because they wanted Otis in singles, and only to put him with like Chad Gable into a tag team. I'm just like,
well, I'd rather have. I kind of like him kind of better with, I don't know, Chad has more of a personality. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that Chad kind of just slowly worked him as a bad guy into a bad guy and doing telling him what to do.
Well, and that I'm not sure if like you saw, but now we have 4 tag teams now on SmackDown, and if like Jimmy comes back, we'll have 5 tag teams on SmackDown.
Why is SmackDown so much better? Just look at even good. A good thing I remembered this. Even the video package leading up to, and I can't remember the raw one really, but the video package like right before the Cesaro and Bryan came out in SmackDown one, showcasing everything. I was like, better. It just showed everybody's reasons for being in this match.
And people wonder why SmackDown's ratings are consistently around 2 million. And do not get me wrong, our tribal chief has a lot and a majority too.
But you need somebody like that,
right? But at the same
that
time,
helps.
It's just everything just falls more better on that show. And hell, I mean, a good example, Apollo and the Big E right now. Yeah. They've done a great job in booking something which I should not give a single shit about because
I kind of want to see it again.
Because as like I said, like you on Friday night, I was like, well, he's like lost 3 or 4 times, but
I still want to see it.
But somehow. I still kind of want to see it, and I mean that's just, and it's like we say every single week. It's hard to believe this is the same writing team. Supposedly,
they're doing it in a way. They're telling a more compelling story that like you want to see these 2 guys fight, even though they fought before, and they're mentioning Big E is not doing it because he already beat him, and he's going to have to his hand's going to be forced. Compared to let's say
Riddle.
No, not even Riddle. I wasn't. Well, yeah, true, but at least they're making that. At least they're making Bobby Lashley look like a badass.
Monster.
Yeah, but I was thinking Xavier and Retribution. I don't care. That's the story. Facing everybody and beating. I don't care. I do not care. I do not want to see.
I'm like Jeff Hardy and Elias for the
initially early on. Okay, not now.
Yeah. It's just
what else?
Well, everything going on. I'm freaking like Paley's rip off of the waiting room from our our true Pittsburgh homegrown Pittsburgh role model.
Hey, don't diss Bailey. I'm not dissing Brits,
I'm
but like,
just saying. I'm
throw
just
the
saying that.
shots in there.
I'm just saying that show came along a few weeks after they were doing her show, as the whole like small clip
Just
going
this,
on the
no,
internet. She
if
stole.
this is not Dr. Bailey. This is not Dr. Bailey. There's no waiting room.
She stole her whole fucking flow, man.
Oh,
So, okay, I think that's probably a good spot for us to
on that note.
So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. We had episode 78, or was it 79 of the podcast on Saturday, and whichever for one that they all like dropped. We talked like WandaVision. We also just gave I believe we also discussed Elimination Chamber as well. So tune into that. And Matt, are we going to be back for our wrestling show on Friday?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, so yeah,
we will be.
So yeah, we shall be back.
Unless my streaming schedule, live streaming for high school sports, because they had to reschedule a game because one school had a COVID outbreak. So tomorrow's game was canceled or postponed. So depending on where they put it, if they put it Friday, then probably not. Any other day, then yes. So it's up in the air. But as of now, yes, the live reaction show after SmackDown is back.
Okay, so yeah, we'll or tentatively are playing for that, and right. So yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and we shall see you guys on Friday. So for like Matt and for John, we will.